This is sashimi, and this is raw horse meat. The famous road that Initial D rips through. This is it, this is the starting point. There's loads of bikers out today, there's loads on the road. Can you believe it? All of these wild monkeys are just living up here in the hills. For my next adventure, I would stay in Japan after my visit to the RI factory, and then team up with Moto Tours Japan for a self-guided tour around this beautiful and mountainous Kantō region. My ride will be on the familiar and sweet handling Ducati Multistrada, a great motorcycle to enjoy the corners on, as well as long days in the saddle. And I have some epic roads to ride and corners to lean around on this adventure, so it was the perfect machine to be riding. Over the next days I planned on immersing myself into the Japanese culture as much as I could, as Japan is a place like no other, and I wanted to see and taste it all. So for a start, there'll be no burgers on this trip. Now my journey will quickly take me away from the busy towns and traffic and deep into the lush green countryside, and where you find yourself just riding amongst nature. The towns and villages that I will now come across will be very traditional, and the pace of life slower. A far cry from that busy capital city that I landed in just a few days ago. To thrust myself into my first Japanese experience, I headed for the bookstore, and to find a manga series called Initial D, who's a famous drift racer, and the series and its awesome drifting roads was based in this area. So I found it. This is Initial D. Now, he's all about a 19-year-old student who actually worked in a tofu shop. But he had friends that were drift racers that used to love driving in the mountains. So this cartoon series is all based on his driving up the mountains on some famous roads. What's special about this is some of the roads in here we are going to go ride. I can't wait to go and experience these roads in real life. Thankfully the sun was out as I climbed the mountain on this epic road, and those glorious tight turns just switched back and forth. And even the rolling speed bumps just added to the fun. Now that was a great road, and I can't wait to see what's to come, as this next road has motorcyclists coming from all over the country to ride up and down. Now there are a few roads around the world that riders just flock to and just ride all day, like the Futa Pass in Italy and Mulholland Highway in California. Now this is the Japanese version, so I turned up early on a Sunday morning and then headed straight for the car park to find some riding buddies and to check out their machines. We are at a very, very special point for any motorcyclist. This is the road where Initial D rips through, doing drifting. This is it, this is the starting point. As you can see, there's loads of bikers out today, there's loads on the road, the weather's fantastic, and we are going to go and have some fun. Let's get out there. Now these are the local fast guys, all wearing full racing leathers with well-worn knee sliders, and all riding customised sport bikes with sticky rubber, and all happy to wait patiently for the road to dry in those shaded areas. So you waiting for dry? Yeah. Dry much better, right? Then you can use. And as we waited, I checked out their bikes, and every one of them had been to the very edge of the tyre, and a bit more. Look at that! If he's scraping that, he's a seriously good rider. After a peaceful wait by the lake, it was then onto my machine for a ride up in motorcycling road made in heaven. I just settled into my own flow and enjoyed the turns. And then another local blasted past and showed me how it's done in Japan. Guys are nuts. At the end of the road, I thanked and said goodbye to my speedy local friends. And while they went back for more, I went for a quick sit down. had a little rip around. I met some sport bike guys and they asked me if I wanted to join them for a little rip. It was unbelievable. I am on a good Multistrada, but those guys were wearing full leathers and were on sport bikes and they blew me away. But this was insane. Great road, lots of grip and fantastic scenery. Oh my gosh, I'm having a lot of fun. Loving Japan. Wow. Continuing my journey up and around corners, I'd now climbed further up into the hills, but unfortunately into some misty and drizzly weather. But in the clouds, I find delicious coffee and some cool motorbikes. So we're here at Biker's Paradise. Now this place has just opened, but here you can chill out, enjoy your motorcycles, get a great coffee. But also here is a hire bike company. You can just pay like 20 bucks and take brand new bikes out in this area for like 20 minutes, an hour, all day, depending on what you want to do. So a real great hangout for bikers. Enjoy food, look at bikes and great roads around here, so great spot. This is a great build, super fun. And at Biker's Paradise I would also meet up with some fellow Ducati riders, who would then also show me a few local attractions, starting off with a fun twisty road, and then an awesome view of Mount Fuji. And as we got a break in the clouds we ventured out. But soon, the roads got wetter, and a blanket of fog blocked any viewpoints. Well, it's a great road, but the weather's not so great. And this apparently is an amazing viewpoint of Mount Fuji. Wow, it looks amazing. Oh. So there's Mount Fuji, guys. So we're here on the Venus line now. This is one of Japan's amazing motorcycling roads, but unfortunately it's also high elevation and in the clouds a lot of the time, and today is definitely one of those days, but it's not going to stop us enjoying ourselves. One thing's for sure, we've got to take it steady because it's drizzly and that affects the grip of the road. I can't see very far in front of myself, so we've really got to try and be careful. But in weather like this, I really believe it makes you a better rider, because we can all ride motorcycles in good weather. That's easy. Weather's always changing and you can't always pick good days. So this isn't one of them, but it's not going to stop us having a load of fun. And like I said, being intricate with the bike, be more delicate with the throttle, the brakes, and the feeling that you get back through the bike in these drizzly conditions definitely makes you a better rider. amongst the trees and in the mist on this famous twisty road was a gorgeous little wooden cabin that serves up some mouth-watering bites and drinks to warm you up. The toast with the honey cheese.
Honey cheese?
Yeah. This looks superb. What a great coffee and a big slab of cheesy honey toast. Cheers. Oh wow. I think I can safely say it's the biggest slab of toast I've ever eaten. Wow, that is tasty. Now this little place is amazing, and the owner was a rider herself. So after I scoffed down all that toast, we then sat down for a quick chat. I don't think I've ever had a piece of toast so big.
Really?
Yeah. I'm Jamie.
Okay, my name is Chisa.
Now you've got an amazing place here, and you're on a very famous motorcycling road.
Oh yes, in the Venus line.
Yeah, Venus line. So you have many motorcycle riders coming
Yes.
here. But are you a rider?
Yes. I also ride on the Harley.
A Harley?
Davidson, yes.
Harley Davidson? Oh my god, so a big bike.
Yeah, it's 1,200 cc.
Yeah.
I'm a bit small, but I like riding motorbike.
Yeah, good. Well, this road looks amazing.
Yes, it's very beautiful. Although today's weather is really bad,
Yeah.
but if it's sunny,
Yes.
it's very beautiful.
Yeah, very
The
beautiful.
scenery.
We see the photos, and the photos look in the good weather really amazing.
Yes, it is. You should come again.
Yeah,
come back again.
yeah, fantastic. Now, somebody tells me there is an interesting castle at the end of the Venus line.
It's a Matsumoto Castle.
Okay,
It's a very big and black castle.
okay.
It's very beautiful.
And is it famous for anything particular?
You know the crow,
Okay.
the bird. bird.
The
name
black crow.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's called crow. Nickname is crow.
Oh,
it's very
right.
black and
Right.
big.
Right. Is it also high elevation? Similar?
No, it's
Or lower?
the lower.
Okay.
It's in downtown Matsumoto.
Okay. So maybe we can see out of the clouds.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you all. It's been
Thank
great
you.
speaking to you.
Thank you
you
very
very
much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Back on the multi, and I now follow the other Ducati riders to a shrine, and then participate in a cleaning ritual, giving me another chance to be further drawn into the Japanese culture. Good job. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. Thank you guys. Time now to say goodbye to my new Japanese friends and head off alone. Thankfully, the fog had now cleared, and before the day was over, I could enjoy some twists and turns out of the mist. And at the end of those turns was another gorgeous lake. It's the end of an amazing day, and we've just come past this lake. These guys are fly fishing, and it's an art in itself. He's not even casting out far because he's after something really close. This little boy, look at him, he caught a fish like that big. It's beautiful here. I'm really starting to fall in love with Japan. The roads are awesome to ride, and the scenery is gorgeous and green. And the people are just so quiet and polite. This feels like a magical place for sure, and I'm excited to discover more. The next morning I'd wake up in a tranquil forest at the end of the Venus Line, and just a beautiful backdrop to start my day. And my morning ride would take me out of the trees and then down into town, as I went to check out a very old castle. One of Japan's premier historic castles is Matsumoto Castle, which is also known as the Black Crow Castle, due to its black walls and roofs that look like spreading wings. Despite being damaged by a 5.4 magnitude earthquake in 2011, the castle still stands proud over the town of Matsumoto, and elegantly displaying its structure across the lands. This magnificent castle dates back to the 15th century, and inside you can see and learn all about its history. And if you climb high enough, you can get a great view from the upper windows of the keep. Thankfully, the Matsumoto Castle has been extensively renovated over many decades, and visitors can now just stroll around and explore its splendour. After walking around the castle and working up an appetite, it was now time for some lunch, and for something very traditional. So in certain parts of Japan they eat horse meat, Now, when I was in Mongolia, I did eat some horse meat there, and I was really surprised how tasty it was. But this is not the same. This is sashimi, and this is raw horse meat. I grew up on a farm with horses. Now I'm eating one, but it does taste damn good. So here we have big old soup noodles. So it's soba noodles mixed with some eggs, some mushrooms, chives, seaweed. Tasty. After a tasty lunch, it was then a gentle ride up into the mountains as I went to see some furry friends. So we're here at the Snow Monkey Park. Can you believe it? All of these wild monkeys are just living up here in the hills. Absolutely fantastic. There's no cages, you just sort of observe them at a distance. So we can get about 3 foot, around about a metre away, no closer. Look at it, amazing. One of them just hanging on to the back of its mother. I've seen them like squabbling over kind of food and territory. Amazing, this is fantastic. Japan. Now these monkeys are able to survive the extreme cold winters due to bathing in the natural hot springs on this mountainside. As in winter, temperatures here plummet to well below freezing. But it's mild at this time of year, so they're just chilling by the stream. The monkeys might not be in the hot springs, but I fancied a dip. So I called into the local onsen and to the guest house where the monkeys first observed and copied the behaviour of the humans of soaking in the hot springs. And this one's outside. And their rules.
Next time you stay. This is Japanese eat.
Okay, yes, good. And is naked or towel?
Yeah, Japanese naked.
Naked? I don't know what I've got myself involved in, but basically they love the hot springs here in Japan. This one is extra special because it's a natural hot springs and it's outside. See you later. After perching myself in the natural hot springs and soaking in this wonderful adventure, I then headed back down the mountain and onto a beautiful historic shrine. Leaving a short message for all riders, it was then on to another awesome set of corners. And my final initial D-Road will be nothing short of spectacular. And another great opportunity to get this Multistrada over a bit as well. Wow, another fun road. But now I'd slow things down a bit as I headed over to Motegi. Known for its high-speed straights and hard-braking corners, Honda's own testing facility and MotoGP circuit is a track like no other. But I'm not here for the racetrack. Today, I'm here to go and look at a bunch of gorgeous motorbikes. So after those rather intense curves and amazing mountain roads, we're now here in Motegi at the calm of the Honda Museum. There's a few motorcycles in there that I can't wait to see, so let's get in there, check them out. There were so many brilliant motorcycles inside this immaculate museum that I found it hard to contain my excitement, and also pick out some to show you. But here are some of my own personal favourites. Now this is a very special Honda. It's the NR 750 road bike, which they made in 1992. There was only around 300 units made worldwide, and it's an oval piston. I think it was a 500, NR 500 from 1979. That was developed with the oval piston, but it actually made its way to a road bike in 1992. And it had a price tag of 5.2 million yen back in 92. So that's about 50 grand back then. Look at it, it's gorgeous. It's littered with carbon fibre. I would love to go on one of these. I think this is a Roger De Costa's prototype Honda front suspension. Look at this for front suspension on a motocross bike. So this is a section that I absolutely love because it's all about MotoGP races. Here's a bunch of 500s, Freddie Spencer's championship winning machine. Look at this. This was Rocket Ron Haslam's Elf prototype bike. Single-sided front suspension. It was stunning looking. I remember watching this bike myself at the British Grand Prix when I was just a little kid. Fantastic. Further down here we've got Wayne Gardner's NSR 500. We've got Eddie Lawson's NSR 500. I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. Over there we've got Valentino Rossi's machines, Nicky Hayden's, you name it. Here is just littered with every championship winning bike from Honda. It's amazing. Now this is the machine I came to see, Mike Hailwood's Honda 6. Now this thing sounds amazing. I've only ever heard it on the old Isle of Man videos, but this had a very unique sound. It used to rev very, very high, and right surrounding me here I have Mike Hailwood's 500, Mike Hailwood's 250, and then there's 125s here. These 125s used to rev above 20,000 RPM. And they also used to have 9 and 8 speed. Can you imagine that? Going through 9 gears. Incredible. These bikes are very, very special and extremely expensive. After spending many hours in the Honda Museum, it was dark by the time I came out. But I have to say, I highly recommend the Honda Museum for any petrolhead. So here in Motegi, we've just been to the amazing Honda Museum. Now we're going to wrap things up with a bit of camping in the Twin Ring. Amazing. Fantastic adventure here in Japan. It's been nothing short of spectacular. I'm blown away. I'm definitely coming back from this place changed, because this place will definitely do it to you.